The final drop of Infinite Flux just went live in Madden 24, and although this promo has been the definition of mid, we've still got some tips and tricks for you to follow. Now, Soul family, and welcome back to another Madden 24 video. Hope you watching this one are having a wonderful start to your day, and without further ado, let's get it popping, let's get it started. Now, first things first, there's a free 97 plus overall player pack, which is available today in Madden 24. To get this, we're going to the Infinite Flux Field Pass, and we are scrolling all the way on over to the right to level 15. Now, level number 15, as you guys can see, is a 97 plus overall BND Infinite Flux player pack, and I can't lie, this seems interesting. It might be worth it, but if you pull a 97, all the grinding is basically for naught, because I don't really think any of these 97 BNDs are all that amazing. Now, if you do happen to get lucky enough to pull a 99, well, you're kind of cooking. You're in a situation where you can probably use that card on your team. I would say basically every 99 is likely a starter and likely usable on most people's teams, unless of course you've got like the best team in Madden 24. Most of these 99s should play for you. Now, how do we get to level number 15 in the quickest and most efficient way possible? What should you be grinding? Well, of course, the two missions that are an absolute layup every single time are your sets missions. I would say these should be done every single field pass, as well as the stats missions. Now, the stats missions are not easy, but they give you a ton of XP. As you guys can see, 4,500 XP for some of these missions in here, 3,000 for some of these other ones. That's a lot. When you compare that to like house rules or head to head, it's only 1.5k. So that's why I would say the sets and the stats missions are typically a must when it comes to a promo, especially if you're looking to go through and max out the field pass, which is what we're talking about right now. Now, when you go through and you complete said missions, the stats and the sets missions, that will give you a total of 25,000 XP in this field pass, which doesn't quite get you to level 15. It gets you to level 14. So how do we get to level 15? What else do we need to do? Well, there's a couple different options. Now, you basically got to get an additional 2.5k XP, and what is the quickest way of doing that? Well, it's a little bit up to you. Me personally, I would say the simplest and easiest way to go through and get that final 2.5k XP is to do this mission right here, get 1,500 offensive yards in solo battles or head-to-head with two Infinite Flux players in your lineup. Then I would also say this challenges mission is probably worth doing. That will give you an additional 1,000 XP, so add that up. You do this mission right here for 1.5, you do the challenges for 1,000, and that's the missing 2.5k XP you need. Now, that's all theory, that's all fine and dandy, but what should you be actually doing right now in Madden 24 if you want to get the stats done and you want to get those missions completed? Well, I would say first things first, go to your head-to-head seasons, go to your solo battles and bang this mission out. By going into one game, I believe you can get 1,500 offensive yards. That's going to require you to score about 17 touchdowns depending on how you play it, but if you're going through here, you're scoring a touchdown, you're allowing the CPU to score, you score your touchdown, and you kind of just go back and forth by doing that in solo battles. This should probably get your mission completed, and it's also going to give you progress on a lot of other missions, because of course, as you're going through here and you're scoring your touchdowns, you're going to be racking up progress on a bunch of those other stats missions in this game. So going through, playing one solo battle game and trying to run up the score, getting 1,500 offensive yards, that's the first thing you should do. That's probably going to take you about 30 minutes plus. Now, once you've gone through and completed that, then you're probably going to have to grind your solos, get up to 60 stars, and once you get to that situation, that's when you go through and you assess your stats missions. At that point, you're going to have scored probably 30 touchdowns. You're going to have gotten a ton of these yards for rushing and passing. You're going to get tackles in your solo battles, so you're going to be in a situation where realistically you maybe need to grind a couple of these. If you got to grind your sacks and your fumbles, go into a defensive solo, get into it on 1-star difficulty, send a blitz, sack the quarterback. That will give you a sack fumble every time. If you got to get passing yards or offensive yards, go to a solo that starts you near the goal line, throw or run for a touchdown on 1-star difficulty. It's pretty simple to rack up stats, but realistically, if you want to knock this field pass out, I would say first things first, go to a solo battle game, get those yards, then finish up your solo challenges, and then just see whatever is left in the stats. That's probably the quickest and most efficient way to bang that out. Now, next up, let's make some coin in Madden 24. We love generating coin, and how are we going to go through and generate some coin today? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing 99 overall sets for the new Infinite Flux players. Of course, there's the new Quentin Williams, who realistically to me is, I would say, the best card. This 99 overall set is going to give you the most profit if you're selling this card at about like 660, 670. This is going to give you the most profit. Now, how do we get the set done for Mr. Quentin Williams himself? Well, it's pretty simple. You need two 97 overall cards that are Infinite Flux players, and you need a couple 96 overall cards, and those can just be any 96. Now, in terms of how we're going to be getting the 97s, I talked about this before, but the best way of getting 97 overall players to do these sets is by building them. It is so much easier to go through here, or sorry, so much cheaper to go through here and build the 97s rather than buy them. Realistically, if you wanted to, you could even just sell these 97 297 overall players off for profit, but if we want to go through and get George Fant's set done, for example, I gotta buy 395 overall players, and realistically, I can find these cards at about 60k, so if we do that math right there, 60 times 3 is 180 per 97. That's not horrible. Now again, finding these 95s to go in the set isn't really that difficult. Quality 94 to 95, program infinite flux, and as you guys can see on the first refresh, I don't know why this card isn't even loading. Did Madden just die for me? You want to find these cards at 60k. We see 50 right here. Is that a glitch? Is that a glitch that I can't buy that card? That's a little bit weird right there. Now again, as you can see, another card just got posted up for 60. I have no clue why I can't buy these cards right now. These cards are getting posted up. Let's try that again. Okay, yeah, moral of the story, it's not that hard to find these cards at 60. We just saw a couple of them. I'm going to take some refreshes right here. I'm going to wait till I see it 60k. I'm going to buy. Again, you're getting a total. Why is this not working? I can't even buy these cards. Now again, as you guys can see, James Conner, why can I not buy this card? It's posted up for 60k, but I can't buy it. I think something weird is going on with my auction block, but you'd have to do those sets 2 times. You got to do 297 overall sets. Again, you're buying 3 players per set, 180k per 97. We got to get 297s, of course, so 180 times 2 gives us an answer of 360. Now, once we've done that, of course, we also got to go through here and buy a 96 overall player, or sorry, 2 96 overall cards. You'd want to find these cards at about 100k or less, and that is very, very attainable. Really filter it down by anything, weekly wild cards, ultimate legends. You can filter by basically any different promo, any different overall in this game, and you're going to see 96 overall players selling at a somewhat decent price. As you guys can see, 102k right here, and we could probably filter this down a little bit more, but let's say we're buying at 100, which realistically isn't even the best deal in the world. That's another 200k in spend, bringing your total up to 560 for a card like Quentin Nelson. And as we saw, I would love to do this set right now, but for some reason, it's just not even letting me buy cards in the auction block. I'm probably gonna have to restart Madden, but that's basically all you would do. You're spending 560k, you get a card which is gonna sell for ideally about like 750k plus, and in terms of your options, you guys can just look at this filter right here, and whatever 99s you see that are selling for 600-700k, ideally they're close to 700. If you find a card close to 700, yeah, that's super easy profit. Amari Cooper, I think, would be decent. Darius Slay might still be selling at a somewhat decent price. Matthew Judon, I think, is going for a pretty decent rate. Amari Cooper wouldn't really make you a ton of profit right there. But if we take a look at Quentin Williams, I think that's probably going to be your best bet. I think this card is the most expensive. He's about 700 right now, so that's pretty easy profit. 560k in spend for a card that's selling for 700. Yeah, that's not too difficult. Matthew Judon at 660. It's pretty easy profit. About 50 to 70k after tax, depending on what player you get and depending on how easily you find your snipes. And for me personally, I wish I was going through and completing this set right now, but for some reason, Madden just isn't working. I'm gonna have to refresh my app or see what we can do, but that's gonna do it for me. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and until next time, I'm out. Love y'all. See ya. Peace.